Today we're checking out the new 2-speed transmission available from RC All-Wheel Drive for the SCX24. This is a complete kit, has a 72-turn 130 size brush motor on it, digital servo for your shifting, and an all-metal geared 2-speed transmission. This is a really cool upgrade. It's going to give you great slow crawl on the bottom end. You can shift it up into second gear and get a ton more wheel speed. So it's going to give you a lot more versatility out of your truck. While it is plug and play, this is a big piece of hardware. There are going to be some modifications needed to your chassis, some relocation, and some tweaking that needs to be done. But I'm excited to see how it fits and how it works. We're going to be putting this in my son's SCX24 Power Wagon. So let's kick it off by taking a closer look at the motor and transmission combo, and then we'll get to the install. I'm really excited for this guy, so check this thing out. First impressions, this is a big piece of hardware. It's nice and compact, feels really well built. It's got an all metal casing to it. The servo mount is nice and flush in here. Motor comes pre-installed. The whole thing is ready to go. Comes out of the package pre-assembled, ready to bolt in and go. It also comes with your double-sided tape here because you are going to have to relocate your electronics. It's nice that they give you that. We've got some metal cross bracing as well. I'm guessing you probably have to relocate your shock towers. That's probably going to give you some bracing up front. And because of those relocations, they give you new shock towers, shock mounts to put on there, which is very cool. You get some sliders, because imagine they're going to give you an alternative to put your battery or electronics on. So there's a lot that comes in this kit. It's very cool. RC All-Wheel Drive is really thoughtful with their upgrades. I don't know the exact ratio of the gears in here. I do know that it has all metal gears inside the transmission. So looking at the size of this thing, look at it compared to the stock drivetrain. Holy moly, we are going to have to do some serious modifications here to get this to fit. Looks like a front facing is probably going to be our best bet right there. And it's looking like stock drive shafts will fit as well, just eyeballing this. One thing too, depending on which model SCX24 you're running, you may have to swap out your electronics. You are going to need some ESC receiver combo that has an auxiliary channel. So you can see here, we've gone back to the V2 electronics, the blue electronics on this for a couple reasons. One is that I fried the new ones that came with the Power Wagon, and I just put one of these in, but also because I'm going to be utilizing this channel 3 switch for my shifting. So when I do this new motor combo, I'm going to plug this variable speed servo into the channel 3 and optimistically going to be able to use that. The SLT2 that comes with the Power Wagon and some of the newly refreshed SCX24, there's no auxiliary channels on this. So keep that in mind if you are looking for this upgrade. Check out your receiver, make sure you've got the channels necessary to run the additional servo. So with that, we know we're in good shape with the electronics. I'm going to start disassembling this thing, drop this big hunk of metal in there, and we'll see how it goes. Let's get to the install. Hey guys, quick note on the installation here, working my way through this. Look at the size difference between the stock setup and this new motor combo. This thing is enormous. But anyway, just a quick installation note here. To get this to fit on the SCX24 skid plate, it comes with this adapter plate here. You're going to want to put this onto the transmission. There's 4 longer screws that go in here. This skid plate adapter has countersunk holes here that the screws thread into. They're 1.5 millimeter. Went in a little bit tight, but they're pretty flush right now, so should drop right in at this point. You can see the scope of what we're going to have to do to get this to fit. Battery tray is going to have to go. ESC tray is going to have to get, I think I'm going to trim the ESC tray. I don't think I have to get rid of it entirely. I think I can cut it right there and then maybe just move the battery back. I don't know, we'll see. It's going to take some tweaking though. A couple interesting things going on here. So I took the battery tray completely off for right now until I can figure out what to do with this. I got this behemoth sitting in here. Another thing with the Power Wagon, could not close the body with the interior on it, so I had to remove the interior. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to plug the variable speed servo into channel 3. Channel 3 is my 3-way position switch right here. We'll see how this does. Alright, should be in business now. Got my drive shaft hooked up. Let's see how this works. So that's slow speed. Whoa, it's really slow. Look at that. Super slow. Let's try high gear. Cool. Oh man, that was simple. Obviously we gotta find a home for all the electronics and everything, sort out the chassis, but man, plug and play. Give this thing, see it crawl. Wow, look at that. This is stock ESC, well V2 ESC anyways. Very, very slow. Holy moly. Try some high gear here. I think I'm dragging my body here. High gear feels okay. I was expecting a little more wheel speed out of it. Cool. All right, let's button this thing up. I'm going to find a home for all this stuff, get it cleaned up, and then we'll do some proper runs. All right, my friends, here's the final setup here. So this was a really simple installation. I'm super impressed with the ease of fitting this in here and getting this thing functional. A couple of nuances here. When I got this all assembled initially last night, I felt like it was having some binding issues. And you know, when this V2 remote, when you get a low battery, it starts to turn amber and then red on the controller. When I would hit the throttle, I would get that orange and then red light on here, even though it was about 86% battery. So I knew something was fishy here. Come to find out, the stock drive shaft, especially the front, was really, really tight against the motor case. So what I had to do was just kind of back that out a little bit, shave off a little bit of that plastic drive shaft, and that really freed up my movement. So while I was in there, I did crack open the transmission. It was bone dry. So I would highly suggest you get in here and lube this thing up. So what I did, I oiled this thing up, greased it all up internally, searching for that binding issue. And then when I put it back together, I realized that it was the front drive shaft. So it's all lubed up, ready to go now. For my electronics, what I did, I put the ESC on the right-hand slider. These things came in really handy. Put the battery on the left-hand slider using the supplied Velcro and the supplied double-sided adhesive here. Because I just trimmed the front shock tower and ESC tray, I didn't have to take this off, so I didn't end up using the shock mounts that RCAWD Drive supplied. Same with the rear. I removed the battery tray entirely, and everything fits. Let's close it up here. Nice and tight in there, no issues. I did lose the interior, like I said, which is kind of a bummer, but my son doesn't care about that stuff. Now let's check it out with the binding issue all sorted out and the final setup here. Here we are in low gear. Fantastic slow crawl on this thing. Unbelievable slow crawl. It is very noisy though. Very, very noisy. This is even after greasing everything inside the transmission. It's just a noisy, noisy transmission setup. But I'll take it for that performance. That's crazy. Almost brushless slow crawl on this. Top speed in low gear, very, very, very slow. But if we use high gear, let's see. Not bad. I'd say it's comparable to stock. We'll do some speed comparisons in a minute. But even in high gear, it crawls really, really well. So it almost feels like a stock SCX24 in high gear with better control on the bottom end. And then if you want that really slow, really, really slow, brushless performance almost, you've got that super low reduction gear. Very cool. I'm excited to go try this out on the rocks, so let's go check it out and see how it does in the real world. Okay, here's our speed test here. So on the left, I have my SCX24 JLU. Running stock motor electronics, does have some heavy wheels, very similar to the Power Wagon on the right. We're going to run the Power Wagon in high gear. See how these things do. Let's go. Noticeably faster with the Power Wagon. Now we're going to try low gear just for the heck of it. I'm going to show you how slow this thing is. Here we go. You can go get a snack, something to drink. We'll be here when you get back. Here we are on the outdoor course. The weather gods have smiled on us. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon here. I'm going to check out the Power Wagon on the rocks. All right, let's try some crawling in low gear here. Gosh, it is so slow in low gear. I'm also running these RC all-wheel drive brass wheels with their tires. My first time running these tires as well. They're very heavy. So let's see how the steering and everything copes with this. We certainly have the power to turn them now. There's that slow crawl getting us out of there, finding traction. See if those heavy wheels keep us planted up here. Oh, I think they will. Oh, I am amazed with the slow crawl. Let's see if I can use the high gear for some wheel speed here. There we go. It's a tough section for a near stock truck here. High gear is pretty quick outside. Try crawling it in high gear. Still does pretty good. It's got better slow crawl than the stock setup, that's for sure. And this is on the stock ESC too, the stock V2. Whoa, man, those brass wheels keeping us planted. Do low gear again here. Got nice reliable shifting. I was having a little bit of slippage in high gear before I came outside. I had to adjust my servo horn to make sure I was getting the right pull on there. There is a way to trim out channel 3. I think the Shop Mini RC has a video on that. Might be worth considering, but it's working okay now. That slow crawl, awesome. Alright guys, I'm impressed with this setup. It worked really well right out of the gate. Easy to set up, easy to install, and certainly functional. You know, they dropped it right into a pretty much stock rig. And instant gains, so very cool. I'm going to keep playing out here. I'm having a lot of fun with this truck. Keeping it through its paces, then I'll circle back with you guys on the bench in a minute. This was a fun project. Super easy, straightforward installation, no problems along the way, and big changes in performance. Gotta love those instant gratification projects. As I said during the run footage and throughout the video, very impressed with the slow crawl of this thing. The low range gearing is so low, which I like personally. I like the super slow. This thing is glacially slow in low gear, which is great for crawling. And then you click it up into the higher range and you've got plenty of wheel speed. What I like about this is that the higher range is more usable high range than some of the other 2 speeds that I experienced. It really feels like a stock SCX24 with a motor upgrade in the high range, and it feels like a brushless motor upgrade in the low range. So it's a really good setup here. The gearing is excellent. A couple of things worth noting. It is eerily similar to the FCX24 setup. I really noticed this when I was putting on the adapter plate on the bottom. It has that kind of rounded bottom part of the transmission, very reminiscent of the FCX24, which isn't a bad thing, just pointing that out. It's also uncharacteristically expensive from RC all-wheel drive. At around $100 for this upgrade, that's a pretty big price to pay for an upgrade for an SCX24. But you do get metal transmission housing, all metal gears, the digital servo included, and that bigger motor. And that low-end performance is very reminiscent of a brushless motor without having to change a whole lot of your electronics. Unless you have the V3 electronics on this with the SLT2 remote, then you will have to upgrade your electronics. But for the most part, it's a drop-in and go upgrade that makes big changes in performance. I'll put the link in the description down below if you want to pick this up. If you get it directly from RC All-Wheel Drive, you can save a little bit of money with my discount code below. And let me know in the comments, what do you think of the 2-speed for the SCX24? Now all we need is for someone to make a dig function for these things. As always, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.